Good evening, everyone. Call the meeting to order. Can you please rise to the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tonight is a very exciting evening, especially for me as a board member for almost 18 years. I find this meeting, our June meeting, to be the most rewarding meeting for a school board member. Tonight we're going to recognize our 10-year candidates. We're going to recognize our student representatives. We're going to recognize our valedictorian salutatorian. We're also going to recognize our top 10 students at high school. And finally, we're going to recognize retirees who put a lot of years into mentoring and teaching our students and making them successful community members. And that's something that I'm very proud of, and proud of all the recognitions we're going to have tonight. So to start this evening, we're going to do under personnel our 10-year recommendations, and I'm going to ask each principal to come up and speak about their recommendation, and then we'll move forward from there. So, on behalf of Mr. Kevin Brenny, I'd like to ask our middle school superintendent, principal, to come up and speak about that.
Wow, a new mic. It's really with great honor I get to stand here and do this. Kevin came to us part-time quite a few years ago, and just recently, this past year, I believe, moved to full-time. And since he's become full-time, he's become such a vital part of our school, not only with his instruction and the idea that he really is a leader in having students write in a real meaningful way in social studies and arguing for what they believe to be true. He also does a fantastic job of setting up the idea that, which is so perfect for middle school kids, that they're passionate about arguing for a cause. Kevin is great at leading that kind of a charge with students. But beyond that, he does such a fabulous job of advocating for kids, talking about them, learning about them, and connecting with them. And is always right out there when something needs to be done for kids. Kevin is leading the way. And with that said, he really has become a vital member of our staff and fits right in with the whole idea of what we're trying to do in the middle school, with connecting with kids and leading them and turning their passion into learning. So, Kevin, congratulations.
Okay, be it resolved, the Board of Education, based upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approves the following individual with a tenure status. Kevin Brenny, Social Studies, effective date September 1st, 2019. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Tom, second by Mike. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye. Opposed.
So carried. Congratulations, Mr. Brennan. Our second tenure recommendation is Dana DeStacy and Mr. Zimmer. Could you please come up?
Good evening. I'd like to read a portion of the tenure recommendation letter that I submitted to the board late March. Dana DeStacy started teaching for the Highland Central School District in the fall of 2015 as an ELL teacher, or ENL teacher. For the past few years, she has split her time between the high school, middle school, and the elementary school, depending on the needs of the district. Before becoming a teacher, Ms. DeStacy lived in Japan for a few years while preparing for her pedagogical future. Ms. DeStacy holds a New York State teaching certification in ESOL, which is English to speakers of other languages. During her time in Highland, Mr. Stacy has taught with both pull-out and push-in models. She has also provided professional development sessions for her colleagues that revolve around servicing ELL students. Moreover, Mr. Stacy has been our varsity cheer coach for the past 3 years, and Mr. Stacy has developed the cheer program into a well-respected, organized athletic team. I recommend David Stacy for tenure without reservation. She is a qualified educator who is a strong addition to our teaching faculty. Mr. Stacy is an asset to the Highland Central School District.
Okay, be it resolved, the Board of Education, based upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approves the following individual with a tenure status. Dana DeStacy, English to speakers of other language, effective September 1st, 2019. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Tom, second by Heather. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Congratulations, Dana. Our next tenure recommendation is Mr. Peter Foreman. Mr. Zimmer, please.
Gladly. Peter Foreman started teaching at Highland High School in the fall of 2012 as a part-time math teacher. His position became full-time in the fall of 2015. Mr. Foreman brings life experience to his classroom instruction. Before becoming a teacher, Mr. Foreman worked for 15 years in the financial field as both a regional manager and financial advisor. In addition, Mr. Foreman attended Pace University on a full athletic scholarship for baseball. For 13 years after college, Mr. Foreman played for various semi-professional baseball teams in the tri-state area. Mr. Foreman holds 3 New York State teaching certifications: Mathematics 7 through 12, Special Education 7 through 12, and Business 7 through 12. Mr. Foreman has taught financial mathematics, statistics, Algebra 1, and intermediate algebra. Moreover, Mr. Foreman has volunteered as an assistant varsity baseball coach for the past 2 seasons, and he has volunteered to participate in our high school's commencement exercises each year since 2012. I recommend Peter Foreman for tenure without reservation. He is a strong, effective, and caring teacher. Mr. Foreman is an asset to the Highland Central School District.
Be it resolved, the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approves the following individual with a tenure status. Peter Foreman, mathematics, September 1st, 2019, is the effective date. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Tom, second by Heather. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Congratulations, Mr. Foreman. Okay, now we'll have special recognitions under personnel. We've already done our tenure candidates. Congratulations to all 3.
Can we bring up a picture, Mr. President?
Sure.
It's a high-tech phone.
Oh, I think you see her.
Yeah.
once we recognize all our individuals this evening, there's going to be a small reception. We have cake and we have some beverages in the back. We will be able to roam around and congratulate each one individually instead of bringing everyone up here and shaking each one of the board's hand, kind of move the process along a little bit. Okay? Our next individual is our student representative, Christine Paluzzi. Christine has been with us for this past year and very instrumental in enlightening the board members on what happens on a daily basis throughout the district. Not only here at the high school, but she also is able to report on activities that take place in the elementary school and also the middle school. It's been a pleasure to have Christine serve on the board this year. Again, she's been very instrumental in giving the board directive on what the current events that's happening in the school and what's the do's and don'ts and how we can improve. So with that being said, I'd like to congratulate Christine for a year well done, and for your future. I believe you're attending Marist College. Congratulations.
Mr. President and Board, I'd like to say a few things about Chrissy Paluzzi also. So actually, Chrissy was one of the first students that I really met when I came here last year. It was interesting that we discovered very quickly that we both enjoy going to the same resort. Happens to be in the Poconos. Woodlock Pines, I believe is the name of it. And from then on, I became friends with Chrissy and her family. And, you know, normally we don't have a whole lot of people at the board meetings. So they're very exciting. I encourage everyone to come every week. But someone who has to come every time is Chrissy. I mean, it is a big sacrifice, again, for a high school student to come to every single board meeting when it's not always so fun and interesting. That says something, but the service that she provides, that she makes that connection between the administration and the board and the student body. So certainly I thank her. I know she is going to do wonderful things at Marist. We're going to miss her. And actually on behalf of the Board of Education and the administration, got something for a little gift bag from Marist with all kind of Marist gear in it. So congratulations and thank you, Christy.
That's what I was like, okay.
Okay, I'd like to bring up Mr. Zimmer again to present certificates and acknowledge our valedictorian and salutatorian for 2018-19 school year.
Thank you. Both the Assistant Principal Judge and I are honored to be here to announce the valedictorian and salutatorian, as well as the top 10 of the class of 2019. We all know that a great deal of hard work goes into achieving a distinction such as this, so congratulations to each of the top 10 and their families and parents. So congratulations. Let's start. Oh, excuse me, got a little close. Number 10 will attend Marist College. She will major in business and minor in political science. Teresa Mazzella. Number 9 plans to attend Coastal Carolina University and will major in biology. Megan Finn. Number 8 will attend the University of Connecticut. As for her major, she's still undecided. Congratulations to Nicola Wilk. Number 7 will major in engineering at Binghamton University, Tanmay Halgundi. Number 6 will attend the University of Notre Dame and will major in architecture, Sophia Crimi-Veroli. Sophia couldn't be here with us tonight. Number 5 plans to attend SUNY New Paltz and will major in biology. Please welcome and congratulate Jasmine Akhter. Number 4 will attend Hofstra University and will major in marketing, Riley Monteleone. Number 3 plans to attend SUNY College of Environmental Science and Forestry to major in environmental science, Cassidy McMahon. Number 2, our salutatorian will attend Colby College and double major in psychology and Spanish, Marie Ling. And valedictorian, the number 1 student of the Highland High School class of 2019, she will attend Drexel University to major in biology and minor in psychology, Carly Relier. We're going to take pictures, so that's why I made you sit here. So I want to, right here, what do you think? Oh, look at that. You stand.
Because I think I'm going to need you to
And hold it, yeah.
get cozy. If parents would like to come and take a picture. Just
Yeah, parents, come on up, parents, and family, come on up, take a picture if you'd like.
come sit right in front of us. Good. Smile. Go ahead. Yeah, go right in.
Parent paparazzi.
Congratulations to the top 10. I'm not sure if you noticed, but this is the first time I've seen in 28 years I've been in education that all 10 are female. Congratulations.
Okay, our next presentation is Kathy McCulloch is going to do the creation of the kindergarten orientation video. This should be exciting.
Very exciting. So welcome, everybody. I'm so glad you could come tonight. We have a lot of great things going on. One great thing that we don't hear enough about is our video club. With the direction of Mr. Castellano and his team of students, they did a great kindergarten orientation video for us. Every year we have the same video, but this year we wanted to update it, and it's really cute. So I'd like to just show you that video real quick. It takes 2 minutes, and then I'm going to recognize each one of the students. And not only did they act in it, just remember they had to do all the video preparing of this as well.
Welcome to the Highland District's Bus Safety Video. My name is Hudson the Husky. When waiting for the bus, be patient. Wait for the bus to come to a full stop and for the doors to open. Find your seat and enjoy the ride. While the bus is moving, stay in your seat. your inside voice when talking to your friends. Make sure you have all your belongings and all your bags are closed. As you get close to your destination, make sure you wait in your seat until the bus comes to a complete stop.
When exiting the bus, firmly hold on to the railings. Look both ways when stepping off the bus. Take 10 big steps towards the front of the bus. Stop and look at the driver. Wait for the signal. Always be alert when crossing in front of the bus. Look both ways. Yay, you did it. I know you're going to do a great job. Oh, and remember, if you drop anything, don't ever try to pick it up.
Thanks for watching.
I saw that Les made an appearance, right? He's like Stan Lee, appears in his own movies. Nice.
So besides the team, with the children that you've seen in it, and Mr. Castellano, we had Mary Santini, one of our drivers, help, Christine Sorbello, and Mary Duco. They were all playing a part in it, so thank you very much. Mr. Castellano, would you like to come up and we'll hand out certificates for your students? First one. Angelica Silva.
So Angelica was the director, camera person of the film. She was the husky.
Mia Williams.
She was angry bus rider #1.
Isis Romaine.
She was also the husky and voice.
And Sean Curry. Thank you, team. Thank you, everybody. Let me go picture.
Just some information to those that are here. Kathy McCulloch is our Director of Transportation, and Mr. Peter Miller is also Director of Maintenance of our bus facility, bus transportation department. You probably don't realize that we transport over 1,700 students on a daily basis. We go to probably more than 35 different locations throughout the Tri-County area, probably beyond, on a daily basis. There's a lot of credit due to both Kathy and her staff and Peter and his staff for the job well done of maintaining our buses and bringing our children to and from school in a safe manner. I believe this year, Mr. Miller, we've had 100% passing on all our school buses. 100% passing from DOT, New York State Department of Transportation. I think that's unheard of in the area. I don't think there's many school districts throughout New York State can pass every one of their school buses with 100% passing rate throughout the year. So I'd like to give a big round of applause to both our Transportation Director, Mr. Miller, who also has thank you, guys. Our last recognition this evening is going to be our retirees. And I believe our principals want to come up and recognize each one from their building. We have 13 retirees this evening, put in over 300 years of service to the Highland Central School District. That's a lot for 13 individuals, and we're very appreciative of the work they've done, how they supported our school and our staff and our children, and it's phenomenal to look at 13 individuals and the amount of years they put in to service the children of the Highland Central School District. Congratulations to all of you.
Hello? Good evening. The elementary school brings 155 of those years to you this evening for recognition. I know she couldn't be here with us this evening, but June Rossi has worked in our district for 24 and a half years. She was a special education teacher in many classrooms throughout the years. Most recently, for I think the last 12, she's been in our kindergarten program. A delightful person, easy to get along with, great to talk to, and she just loves the little ones. So, June, thank you. I know you couldn't be here this evening, but you are going to be missed. So if we can get around for June, that'd be great. Patty Miller. Patty Miller is a teaching assistant who's worked in just about every single classroom at all levels at the elementary school. She worked in the reading room for many years, and now she's working in some of our primary classrooms. Patty is one of those people that you can go to if you have an issue that comes up during the day. Can you help me out? And she's always there to lend a hand. So congratulations, Patty. 22 years of service. Thank you so much, and we are going to miss you. Our next retiree, 31 years in the district. I don't see her here, so Christine Block. I always knew Chris as the teacher who worked in room 207, grade 3, until a few years ago, and she came to me and said, "I'd like a challenge for my last few years. Can I move to 2nd grade?" For someone to do that in the last few years of their time with us, that's huge commitment. It's a lot of work to change grade levels, and she did it very eagerly and did a great job these last few years. So Christine, I know you couldn't be here tonight. I don't believe you're behind me anywhere. So thank her, and 31 years of experience in our school district. Thanks, Christine. Patricia Howe, 12 years in our school district as a teacher, but 30 years of service to our school district. Trish was a 2nd grade teacher when I first came to the district and was there for many years, and a few years ago she moved to 4th grade. She's someone who loves science, loves social studies. She brings those subjects to life on a daily basis. The 18 years prior, she worked as some of our support staff. She was working in as a teaching assistant, as an aide. You name it, she did it. So, Trish, congratulations. Victoria Nelson. Vicki was a teaching assistant when I first came to the district, working in the reading department with a teacher who has since passed through our district and has retired herself. Vicki was instrumental in helping that reading department stay afloat for many, many years. And most recently, she moved into a special education classroom, working with some of our special needs students, and she's done a phenomenal job. Vicki is truly going to be missed every morning, as she is the person who stands on the curb waiting for those buses and doesn't allow anyone to speed. So she has kept our kids safe on that curb for as many years as I've been in the district. She will be definitely hard to replace next year on the curb. Vicki, thank you so much for everything. Congratulations. Veronica Nelson, not Victoria. My fault. I only know her as Vicky. I don't think I've ever called you Veronica. I've never called you Victoria either, so I don't know where that came from. Our final candidate here from the retiree from the elementary school, 24 and a half years as a classroom aide, many roles within our school, but primarily with our special needs students at the primary level. Most recently, she's been working as a one-to-one with a kindergarten student. We are so fortunate that we've been able to have Bev Belizzi with us for 24 and a half years. Congratulations, Bev. Years.
Mr. Zimmer?
Sorry. I was expecting the middle school, but middle school doesn't have any retirees. My apologies. At the high school, we have 3 retirees at the high school for a combined 90 years of service to the district. The first one, Mr. Snyder. Mark Snyder could not be here tonight, but Mr. Snyder taught science in the district for 33 years at both the middle school and the high school levels. Mr. Snyder had an immeasurable impact on his students over the years. He will leave large shoes to fill, and he will be missed. Congratulations to Mr. Snyder. Ms. Driller, where are you? Oh, hi. Eliza Driller. Ms. Driller has worked for the Highland Central School District since 1995. She spent 24 years teaching with the district, the first 2 years at the middle school, and the remaining 22 years here at the high school. Right around 2001, Ms. Driller started the Highland Visual and Performing Arts Institute, which was an arts enrichment summer day camp. During her tenure here, many of our students were gifted scholarships based on their art portfolios that totaled close to $1 million. Ms. Driller often incorporates yoga and mindfulness into her lessons, which helps her students self-regulate and focus their attention. Over the years, Ms. Driller has shared her love of the arts not only with her students, but with the entire school community. She has had an immeasurable impact on her students, and we are lucky to have had her as part of the Highland faculty. We certainly wish her continued success and happiness as she enters this exciting new phase of her life. Congratulations on your retirement, Ms. Driller. You will be missed. Ms. Driller.
I'm running away.
Michael Watts. Mr. Watts has worked in our district since 1986. For the past 33 years, he has motivated his students to become the best possible version of themselves. He was in the first college class in New York State to graduate with a technology certification. Mr. Watts spent the first 32 years teaching at the middle school before making his way to the high school for his last year. Mr. Watts is credited with starting the first ski club in the district circa 1988-ish. He also ran the district's first Science Olympiad program. Each year, Mr. Watts took the entire 8th grade class to bike and/or hike Minnewaska and Mohonk. Providing opportunities like this gave his students the inspiration to achieve feats beyond their comprehension, at the same time giving them memories to last a lifetime. I personally feel very fortunate that Mr. Watts spent his last year teaching at the high school, thereby giving those of us here at the high school a taste of Watts before his retirement. We wish him the best of luck as he begins this new chapter. Mr. Watts, thank you to your service to our district, and you will be missed.
Mr. Miller, I believe you have a peer working under your direction.
Good evening. The first gentleman is not here tonight, but I'd like to speak about him because of what he did when he was here in his time. Ed Holder. Ed Holder retired in November. He set a standard here. He came here from Sachem in Long Island, where they had 13 schools. They had 10 guys that did just sport field. So him coming here to having to do everything was kind of a shock to him. But his work ethic and his pride showed in every single thing he did. He was instrumental to the graduation ceremony that we put on every year and helping us put that together. So we have the look that we have, and we have to recognize the fact that he did an excellent job when he was here for his 10 years before he retired. Joe Williams. Joe Williams, when I came here, worked for grounds, and he moved to the high school because the head custodian had gone to maintenance. And that was kind of a tough act for Joe to follow. But once we showed that we had the support for him to be able to improve the quality of the building and work at it, he took ownership and pride in the building and started to work. He's a nice guy, very good head custodian. The biggest thing for my position with him and what goes on in the district is that he is the one person that is absolutely, was always available 24/7, 365 if something went wrong and you needed somebody. And that's one of the things that I value much in Joe and appreciate, and congratulations to Joe. Kissing yourself. Diane Mosier. Diane. Diane Mosier runs the operation and maintenance department. When I came here, she's secretary. She's been here my whole time. Outstanding. Absolutely. She put up with me and all the quirks and things. Incredibly successful at circumventing every single purchasing policy and everything we have to do, and making it look like we were doing it correctly. Great person, never once was like, what the hell are you doing? But did whatever was asked of her, made phone calls, way above and beyond, pushed things, made sure we accomplished what we were supposed to do, and truly appreciative for everything she has done, and hopefully we find somebody that can fill her shoes at least halfway. Diane Miller.
So Diane was so good that we actually shared her in a few departments. And Pete, she would always talk to me about you. So Diane, I'll start with, I'm still pretending this day isn't coming. From day one, when I entered the PPS office, it was not only to see how much of an asset Diane was to our district, but how great of a person she is. There was always a smile, a helping hand, and a great story with a lot of laughs whenever you needed it. Diane has worked diligently to keep our office running smoothly and to keep those who needed it in check, like Pete. She was never afraid to get on the phone and find who she needed to fix whatever our issue was. We will definitely be missing Diane when she leaves us in a few short months, but she is moving on to a much more important job, being grandma. Diane, we wish you the best and enjoy your time with that handsome grandson of yours.
And I'd like to bring Kathy McCulloch up for our last retiree.
Our retiree is Marilyn Truex. She has 12 and a half years in with us. I can only say great things about Marilyn. She's such a sweet person, always has kind words to say to everyone, genuinely cares about her children, and she will be a loss to our department. So we wish Marilyn all the luck. I'm sorry she could not be here tonight. So thank you, Marilyn.
Maybe President Perone want to for retirees, please. They're going to stand. Oh, yeah, they got to stand. Family members, feel free to come on up.
Mr. Bon Jovi?
Me? Yeah. All right.
Oh, yeah. Hang on, you'll want to take it.
Yeah, why don't you get it?
2 or 3 and then you walk.
Sorry.
Just smile. I can cross you out, don't worry.
Tom, you good?
Again, we want to congratulate our retirees and all our recognition candidates this evening for a job well done. Does any board member want to say anything?
I'd like to, Mr. President, on behalf of certainly myself, Mr. W. Leonard, Mr. Gillette, and the entire administration, just again, thank everyone. What you do every day in, day out for our students is just amazing. You have to remember, you know, from the moment they get picked up on the bus to every single employee that a student comes in contact with, every single person is equally as important as part of the whole team of a school district. So I thank everyone for all they've done for our children.
So we'll ask everyone to stick around. We'll have a little reception right now. We'll take a break. We can all mingle and kind of chat and reminisce about all your years here in Highland and congratulate our top men, our valedictorian, salutatorian, our tenure candidates, and our retirees. So enjoy.
Welcome to stay for the remainder of the meeting. I highly encourage you to start moving towards the door though. The board members will get back to our board meeting at this time.
Well, we wanted to see Mom. Good job. All right, Glenn, it's good seeing you tonight. I know.
Business is business.
Go home. Oh my God, we said
Bring them up front. Oh, yeah.
She is.
Good night.
Leaving, sorry. Here we go. Goodbye. Good to see you. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, Grandpa.
Okay, we'll continue the meeting and we'll open it up to public comment. Okay, we'll close public comment and we'll do acceptance of reports. Be resolved, the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approves and acknowledges reviewing the following reports. Board of Education meeting minutes, May 7th, 2019, attendance and enrollment, May 2019, and our internal claims audit report, May of 2019. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Mike, second by Camille. Discussion?
On the claims audit report, would you just be able to provide additional information on the 2 purchasing policy violations? And if you don't have it readily, certainly follow up is fine.
The purchasing policy violations for both of those claims is that they were on a claim form instead of a purchase order. And the first one for BOCES, I authorized it to be on a claim form. That was for summer school special education for the summer of 2018. And that was an invoice the district had not received until May. Instead of opening a purchase order, I said go ahead and pay it because that was the only claim. And I'm not sure what the item number 91 that says claim purchasing policy violation. I'm not sure what that was.
Okay. Certainly the bigger one was the one we've spoken about, so I appreciate the information. Thank you.
The only thing on the meeting minutes of May 7th, I believe it's a typo on the personnel. Samantha, I think you had Walker. It should be Wacker.
Yes.
Is it Wacker? Okay. Any other comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Our principal's report. Bill?
Just a couple of things to point out. This Friday, we will be doing the JDRF Run Walk at the school. This is, we've been doing this now for a few years. So if you're in the area and want to pop by the elementary school, students will be participating during their specials classes. And then just a reminder that our moving up ceremony this year is on a Monday night, not a Tuesday. So Monday the 24th, 6:30 at the high school. If you're all coming, that would be wonderful. If I could find out who's coming so I can reserve your seats, and if you need any additional, please let me know. You can either let the superintendent know or send me an email. Look forward to seeing you there. Any questions? All right, thanks so much.
Good evening again. I would like to just kind of restate in my report, excuse me, I wrote about events occurring this time of year. I really truly am amazed at the level of competence and just almost brilliance our kids show in different events. The concert was just fabulous. The National Junior Honor Society induction, the kids, to hear them, how they're doing was just great. And I know our awards ceremonies are coming up, and to honor these kids and their achievements is just, it's why we're here. So it's great to see it and hear it, and watch it happen. Any questions? Thank you.
Good evening again. I think this is the last time I'll be addressing you this evening, I think. I have two additions to the principal's report from the high school. On Saturday, June 1st, 5 high school jazz band students played solos for the NISMA adjudication at Valley Central. Ben Vargas, Min Tran, Hunter Last, Damien Conti, and Peter Bender. All 5 students did extremely well, including 3 all-state A+. Min Tran and Benito Vargas both received perfect scores, putting them as 2 of the top players in New York State. Peter Bender earned a 98% as a sophomore. Benito Vargas received 3 perfect all-state scores this year in classical tuba, classical bass trombone, and jazz bass trombone. Mr. Shaw tells me that he has never had a student receive all 3 perfect all-state scores in 1 year. Congratulations to all who participated, and thank you to Mr. Shaw for his musical guidance. Finally, you may recall an item on this month's principal's report that I reported about a barbershop quartet that performed with our choir students at last week's spring concert. During the concert, the members of the barbershop quartet presented a plaque of appreciation to Ms. Keach, and a plaque was presented to Superintendent Bon Jovi and myself, and I have it right here. It says, presented to Highland Central School District in recognition of your interest and vision to provide additional music culture in your schools through the introduction of the barbershop harmony style, presented by the Poughkeepsie New Yorkers Chorus of the Barbershop Harmony Society, presented June 3rd, 2019. This will be proudly displayed in the high school. Thank you. Any questions?
More comment. I really enjoyed, and please extend to Mr. Shaw, our instrumental band teacher, just kudos. He's obviously working very hard. The students are responding. And if you remember, he was filling some very big shoes with our former band director, and it appears not only is he filling them, but could quite possibly expand upon that in the years to come. So thank you, and just continued success.
Thank you. I'll share that with him. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, does anyone have any questions or concerns with our directors? We have some of them here this evening, so if you have any questions regarding director's reports, you can direct them towards those individuals. Good? Everyone's good? All right, we'll move on. Under personnel, we take personnel as a block from A through J. And we have some individuals here this evening that we'll recognize after we approve the appointments. So we're okay with the personnel as a block A through J? You want to pull out any of them? Okay. Motion to take personnel as a block A to J. Motion by Tom, second by Heather. Okay, be resolved, the Board of Education, upon recommendation of superintendent, approves the following appointments as presented to the board at this meeting. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carried.
Yes, so Mr. President and Board of Education, we had 2 appointments tonight. One was the music teacher for the middle school. He is going to just be fantastic. In 31 years, I've never had a candidate play his guitar and sing a song to me during the interview. But it was for a music position, so he sang an old Irish folk song. It was incredible. And then he took requests. I think he sang Brown Eyed Girl for us, too. Yeah. So Matt Hogan is presently doing a leave replacement, and tonight is his concert. So he couldn't be here tonight. But with us tonight, replacing Eliza Driller, who we just recognized, is Casey Gallagher, who'll be teaching art at the high school. Remember, there was a switch, so Erica's coming to the high school, and so really, it's replacing Eliza, but it's really at the middle, it's the elementary school. So this is elementary school art. Casey Gallagher. Casey is here. Welcome, Casey.
All right, thank you. Congratulations, Casey. Okay, Chrissy, your last hurrah here as a student rep for the Highland Central School District.
Yes. So, as Mr. Burley just said, this is my last round of reports. So, I just need to take a minute. I'm going to be a little selfish here to thank all of you guys for the opportunities you've given me and for future students who will fill this position. Not many schools that I know of do this, and I just think it's great that you guys can listen to a student during meetings and take all of their opinions into consideration. Some of them I know must be hard to swallow. I'm not a very soft-spoken person, so whatever I said that might have not been well with you guys. I didn't mean anything by it. That's just me. I would like to take a minute to recognize our Board of Ed rep for next year. Bella Fiorisi, if you could just stand up for a minute. I have no doubt in my mind that this amazing girl will do an awesome job next year. She's definitely qualified for the position, and she'll probably even do better than I do, because that's just what she does. So, moving on, the Memorial Day Parade this year actually happened. The weather was perfect. I was actually in the float before the high school band, and I actually took a picture of them to send for the Twitter feed. I was there for the ceremony that they had, and they placed first in the marching band category, and the middle school placed second. They did amazing. They were playing really great music. The American Legion really enjoyed it, for the auxiliary, I should say. This past Friday, Interact went to the Ronald McDonald's house. It's something that they do every year. This past Friday, I was sick, so I couldn't go, and I really regret it. But from all the students that I talked to, it's usually a more popular event, and they can only take a certain amount of students. But every student had a great time. They all are so eager to go back next year. What they do while they're there is all volunteer work. They cook, they clean, they do any task that is asked of them. There's no complaining that goes on, and all the students are way over excited to go there. They're willing to do anything. This past Saturday, members of the National Honor Society went and did the highway cleanup. So for those of you who don't know, the National Honor Society owns a part of 9W. I'm not good with roads. So they clean up their section on both sides of the road. It's a great thing for them to do, just being out in the community. I know I actually drove past them and was like, "Hi guys!" I did that in the fall. So we hope do it here. It's mandatory for students, but sometimes we can get an overlap, so kids actually enjoy cleaning up the trash and making our world a better place, especially our community. So I just want to thank you guys for all the opportunities you've given me and the gifts and everything. I will truly miss you all next year. I might even pop back for a meeting or two. Thank you. Any questions?
I have any questions for Casey?
I hope you go to Woodloch this summer.
Summer, no. Winter, yes.
Again, thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, under business and operations, donation and budget increase. Be it resolved, the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approves the donation in the amount of $216 from the Party of Two Catering LLC on behalf of the class of 2019 towards the purchase of a grill. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Ed, second by Heather. Discussion?
Thank you very much for the donation.
Yes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Be it resolved, the Board of Education approves a budget increase of $216. It's going to go under the food service category, total of $216, and increases the revenues and it falls under donations. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Heather, second by Tom. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? So carried. Year-end fund balance, excess funds, be it resolved, Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, hereby authorizes the funding of the district-approved reserves with the excess of 4% from unassigned fund balance at June 30th, 2019. The allocation of such fund balance will be determined subsequent to June 30th, 2019, and prior to setting the tax levy. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Mike, second by Sue. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Our clerk's report results from the May 21st, 2019 annual meeting and board election. Be it resolved, the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, accepts the below figures as the official results from the May 21st, 2019 annual meeting and board election. Proposition number 1, school district budget, $44,422,937. Yes, 629, no, 197, and it passed with a simple majority. Proposition 2, school bus purchase, $450,246. Yes, 600 votes, no, 221, and that passed. And the results from the Board of Trustee election, Sue Gilmore, 590 votes, Tom Miller, 632 votes. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Ed, second by Sue.
Someone for lower voter turnouts? Do you know? I didn't hear her. I'm sorry, Sue.
A low voter turnout?
Yes.
It seems like it's a trend across the state.
I mean, oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
From what I've been reading in some of the NISBA things, but also in some of my other, with the 2% legislation, people seem to think.
Right.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Sarah?
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to focus the majority of my report on the summer work that we'll be doing internally within district. But before I go into that, I just want to congratulate all of our chorus and band performers, 4th grade through 12. They did a great job the past week with their concerts. It's always, again, a fun part of the end of the year festivities to hear where they started and where they end up at the end of the year. So it was a really fun week of performances. And I'm certainly looking forward to now the moving up ceremonies coming up next, and again, see our students moving to the next level. I'm going to distribute a sheet that has a roundup of the work that we're planning to do in district. And this is in addition to work that teachers will be doing through Ulster County BOCES, as well as some other organizations. There's a few things that are happening through New York State Department of Education, through NISCUS, several other organizations. But we're really focusing the majority of our work on technology, as we've done in the past, as well as new curriculum writing, ELA and math, and then more collaborative work, looking at the ideas of project-based learning and peer coaching. So I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but we're very excited about having a technology teacher at the elementary, 2 at the middle school, and at the high school to really create a K-12 STEM program. So there's a lot of emphasis here on bringing the 4 teachers together to write a true K-12 curriculum, and then some individual time for each building really bring together the resources and what they need to support this curriculum that they put together. They'll be working closely with Carol, the building administrators, and myself to make sure that it's something that hits the HCSD standards, which is the kind of international organization for technology, as well as supporting our academic standards too. So that's a big push. Carol and Karen will be doing some webinars on a weekly basis that teachers can join into, as well as more targeted work with our Smart Notebook software, and again, really looking at integrating technology into existing lesson plans, as well as adding and doing new. Karen Brooks is going to be running our summer academy at the elementary school, which is we've done almost every year for many now. That incorporates our ENL, English as a New Language, students at the elementary school, as well as students who need a little bit of a booster shot kind of through the summer to tide them over until the next year. So it's 2 weeks, overlapping the end of July and early August. Last year, we really did a whole new format. We're going to continue with that format this year. Last year, the themes was on, I think we did like animals in your own backyard kind of idea. This year, we're going to focus on the wonders of science. We've really been doing a lot of work at the elementary school, especially with the new science standards. And so this will be a continuation of that, incorporating technology as well as the reading and math skills that students need. And we use our benchmark assessments as a data point for determining students, as well as Dibble's reading scores, AIS feedback, those kinds of things to determine the students that we would invite. So we've sent all that out. We're getting our responses back now. Generally speaking, we usually have between 60 and 80 students given, in a particular year. So that will be up and running. And then we have Chris Parker doing some work with groups of teachers to really look closely not only at, again, integrating that inquiry idea that we've talked a lot about, but also starting action research projects, really. She's looking for groups of 3 to 4 teachers who are interested in a common problem in education or a common question in education. Start this summer really saying, okay, what is our question? How are we going to go about looking at that and investigating it, and then setting up meetings throughout the school year to look at the data and look at the response. So we're very excited about that work that she's doing. So there's a lot going on in district. And in addition, again, new ELA and math standards we'll be doing curriculum writing with. So there's a lot. And that is all I have.
Any questions to Sarah?
Will we be able to see reports on participation?
Yes, I could, yeah. I'm collecting the applications right now, so at the end of the summer, I'll let you know.
Superintendent's comments.
Yes, so again, as we come to the close of another school year, I kind of think of, and we were honoring all these people, but I think of our retirees, the people who work here with our kids. Think of a student's day, and just all the people that come in contact. So when I said every single person is as important as the other, it's just so true. So bus driver is the first person they see. But even connected to that, sometimes you don't see them, but, the mechanics and everyone, and the aides on the bus, the people kind of keep that running. Our bus directors, Kathy and her secretaries, all that behind the scenes keep that going. Then a student, no matter what the level, arrives at the school. So they're greeted by, the people out front, the people at the monitors. They come into the building, they're greeted by a smile from our secretaries, our security people. They see our custodians and cleaners in the hallways with a nice hello, and they're the ones that keep everything safe and clean for everyone. Certainly as they go through their day, they're seeing their teachers But then, they come to lunch, they see, all the work that goes to preparing lunches every day in all the buildings. Our food service workers do an incredible job, again, our director, in charge of all that. And really, behind the scenes, essential administration, our administrators, and directors who are, all a part of keeping that machine rolling. And at the top is the Board of Education. This is a volunteer, we get paid for all that fun. This is a volunteer position, so again, I do want to thank the Board of Education for their time. I know it is very rewarding, but also, we're going to be here late tonight, we're going to keep you late tonight, so it's tiring. You have families and other obligations, so I do thank you once again for your service to our district. The one thing I did want to cover is the proposed schedule for board meetings for next year. So really, I think this was an attachment for in your agenda. Our next board meeting, the reorg meeting, will be on July 2nd. So that is Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019. This is really just a draft, so we will approve a final Board of Education meeting schedule at that July meeting. So really this next year's schedule mirrors what we did this year. So there's 6 months of one meeting and there's 6 months of 2 meetings, depending on the needs. And we can remember, we can always add meetings if needed. Sometimes you just need a special 5-minute meeting to approve something if it has to be done in a timely manner. So we have the one meeting in July, and we can talk about what time we want to start. I suggested this last year. I know, I'm not saying we're going to do it at 1 in the afternoon, but that's something the board could discuss. 5:30 or 6 o'clock. It's summer, no need for everyone to wait all the way till 7 o'clock when it's the summer. And I believe we did that last year. Then we have the 2 meetings in August, so it follows our pattern of the first and third Tuesday for the most part. So we have August 6th and August 20th. Now, just like this year, we had 2 in a row in September, as we try not to do the meeting on the Tuesday night of the first day back when everyone is exhausted. So we did have it this past year, where we had 2 weeks in a row in September, and I'm suggesting that again for next year. So September 10th and 17th, then October 1st and 15th, 1 in the middle of November, November 12th, 1 at the beginning of December, December 3rd, 1 in January in the middle, January 14th, 1 in February, February 11th, then March 3rd and March 17th. I know that is St. Patrick's Day, ladies, I'm sorry. Now in April, we always have the second meeting in April on the Wednesday because that is the BOCES vote. Now, there is no other Tuesday because the Tuesday prior is the spring break. So that's why I'm suggesting just make April to keep them spaced apart correctly. So it'd be on Wednesday in April, it'd be the 1st and then on the 22nd. And then May 5th, then May 19th is the vote. And we're already at June 9th, 2020. The year's over, done. So again, it mirrors the same thing we had this year. I felt that the meeting schedule worked out very nicely. You can always add meetings if need be, but I know, it's also tough for everyone, for the board members to make 2 meetings every month. I just don't think I think it worked out very nicely this year. So that's my suggestion as a draft. The only thing you'd have to discuss tonight is what time you want the reorg meeting.
No, that's all.
All right. With the reorg meeting, July 2nd, everyone okay with July 2nd? It's a normal first Tuesday of the month, right? Do you want to start the reorg earlier?
We would, at the moment, we don't have anything for executive session. You never know.
You want to start the meeting at 6? Is that fine for everyone? Okay with that? If we do have executive session, it's not a long session, maybe we'll go 5:45 or something like that.
Yeah, we can play it by ear as we get closer.
So we'll do regular meeting, the reorg meeting at 6 o'clock, and then go right into the regular meeting, conclusion of the reorg.
July 2nd is my 25th anniversary date. Just trying not to keep it too long. Unless if I go and be mad at me.
Is it really?
But even more importantly,
Start at 8 o'clock.
I believe that today is we're celebrating another milestone.
And where is that individual?
That individual is here. We had cake. Today is President Barone's birthday. So happy birthday, President Barone. What else would you rather do on your birthday than here at the board meeting?
Thank you.
That's all.
Okay, 6 o'clock on July 2nd. Okay. The old business, we have a couple second reading policies. Board of Ed policy number 7131, second reading. If you had any questions, hopefully you email them or call Sarah to get clarification. Does anybody have any questions regarding?
Just a quick question, because I know I asked last time in terms of review by legal, there's still no markup that was reviewed by legal.
They vote for, yes. I don't know if we corrected it.
Are we going to roll that on there?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any other concerns? You ready for a second reading and approval? Okay. Be it resolved, the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approves the following Board of Education policy number 7131, education of students in temporary housing, as presented to the board at this meeting. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Camille, second by Ed. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Second reading for Board Policy 8290. Does anyone have any questions regarding that policy? Good to move forward? Be it resolved, the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approves the following Board of Education policy number 8290, Title I, Parent and Family Engagement, as presented to the board at this meeting.
Motion.
Motion by Mike, second by Sue. Discussion?
Patrick, do you feel you have the adequate staff? It's just, to me, it's almost unbelievably comprehensive and
There's a lot.
Just such a task.
Yeah, there's a lot in the policy, but there's a lot in there that, we've already been doing for years, so.
Okay.
This was just an update that came through when we did a
Right.
desk review on stuff that's in there, so. It is a lot of departments working together though to make sure.
Sure is.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Anything for the good and welfare of the district? No? We'll open the meeting up to public comment. We'll close the meeting to public comment. No public comment. Okay, a motion to adjourn and go back into executive session. Have a motion, please. Motion by Heather, second by Ed. All those in favor? Opposed? So carried.